The penultimate round of the season. Part of me still can't believe we made it this far, but we have indeed. At what a time too, since what do you mean there's still a potential title fight? Lando Norris currently sits at the top of the standings, 24 points clear from Oscar Piastri and Max Verstappen, who are equal on points. And this is all by chance too, since he was actually like 40 points clear of both, but it's only back in thanks, of course, to that delicious McLaren double DSQ. So here we are at the second to last round with a potential title fight going on. Man, I can't wait for good racing. Where's the track at? And our Lagos? That place is pretty damn good. Or maybe it's Coda or even like Vegas, right? Where good racing can happen? Huh? Qatar? This piece of shit. Okay, maybe I'm being a little bit harsh, but I don't think so. Since its first race in 2021, this track has just been one big disappointment. I mean, for starters, where's the grandstands? This place only holds like 3 people, so it's already boring in atmosphere. And if we want to get literal with that, the actual environment around the track gives off a billionaire's creativity, so there's more points docked off. And to make them even worse, there is like never good racing here. But some might say, nah, there's punctures and crashes here often, and to be fair, they are right. Every year we come here is a year full of drivers either getting their tires ripped to shreds or maybe their own lungs ripped to shreds, since this place is just as severe as Singapore. I mean, turning back to back to back to back at high speeds is for sure very trying on the body, so remind me again, what's so good about this place? Plus, it doesn't matter it's chaotic since the racing is just not good here. It's a shame the title battle could potentially get decided here, since this is one of those circuits where the guy on pole will 9 times out of 10 win the race. But hey, at least it'll lead to a good qualifying. I don't know. I'm so glad the season's coming to an end for a variety of reasons. Like I alluded to, this place sucks for racing, and qualifying will likely decide things, which just sucks, man. These cars are that bad that all the action and drama will happen on a Saturday, which is just ridiculous to me. And of course, the racing is no better too, since there is just a lack of it, and racing at a circuit like this one is no benefit either. Plus, the drama from this year is just so draining, man. This year was peak stupidity and negative wheel knowledge from everybody, since like I said in a previous video, we have reached a point where achievements don't matter anymore, just the guy doing them, which is bleak, I say. Anyways, why am I being so negative? I think it's because I've been super stressed out lately, so let's try to relax by recapping the Qatar 2025 weekend and finding some winners and losers from it. So go join the Discord to experience the weekends live, and subscribe if you're new if you love femboys and furries. So enough yapping and let's get to quacking.
See those clouds up in the corner? That's where the rain is coming from.
As always, subjects, we got the recap first, and there really wasn't much until the day of actual racing. So starting with the pre-week stuff, there was of course the exclusive rule change for this weekend, saying that after every 25 laps on a tire, the teams must pit. So basically, if you do 6 laps in FP1, 4 in FP2, and 3 in FP3, all on the same tire, then for the main race, you must pit on lap 12, since it will be 25 laps on that tire set. Personally, if we need to implement tire rules on Pirelli tires, which are already stones, maybe the track is a problem, we shouldn't race there, but oh well. Let's see if strategy could get spiced up this week with the rule change, and hope it's not another Monaco. Also to note, this week is the final sprint weekend, and can I say something real quick? When sprints happen at the beginning of the year, they suck and are boring to watch, but for some reason, when they happen at the end of the year, they are far better. Don't get me wrong, I still want them fully gone, but if they had to stay, having them in the back half of the season seems to be the move. But now for a juicy final story before the sessions, and we have more MV1 and Ellen for divorces. Basically, Max said something along the lines of, if he had the McLaren car, the championship would have been long wrapped up by now, which of course has pissed everybody off. I mean, Max isn't exactly wrong. Like, he definitely wouldn't have cocked up the championship how Piastri and Norris did, but it's also like, what is wrong with you, man? Like, he's clearly playing mind games. I think that's obvious enough. And Lando, I would certainly hope so, is past mind games. But like Max, how does you saying that actually benefit you or your chances? Your teammate has been your sacrifice since 2019, and the team is entirely centered on you. McLaren are the literal opposite. Plus, you've had a very competitive car for a good amount of races, especially past the summer break. Maybe if you hadn't rammed into George Russell in Spain or spun in Silverstone, you could be right on the rear of Lando for the title, but we all make mistakes, I guess. Either way, I fucking hate this year, man. Like, maybe it's the Ferrari depression turning into resentment, but I just don't want anyone to be champion this year. Cancel the entire damn thing, man, please. But that's it for the drama. Let's move on to Friday, where we got FP1 and sprint qualifying that can hopefully be good for Ferrari, right guys? It's so fucking over. Let me get my Ferrari rant over with before I'm back to being unbiased duck. We fucking suck. Anyways, ran over, and it seems that Oscar Pastry is back to being good. Only took him bottling 104 points, but better late than never. And McLaren in general looked to be very fast this weekend. However, Max is just ever so close to them, making sure they cannot fully breathe easily. And I don't really think the McLarens will slow down or have a big crash or something, because they're clearly going to do the minimum Alan Prost style and just secure the title, even if it's by 1 point. Wink. But as for the actual session itself, it's FP1 sprint, man. I mean, Alpine were on a mission to hold people up, yippee. So the running order heading into sprint qualifying would be McLaren, who again will have nothing unfortunate happen, Max, because let's be real, Yuki is dead to the team, let's get our players ready for Isaac next year, and Mercedes and Ferrari, who are too far back to even matter this weekend. So that's it already. Let's see what sprint qualifying has in store for us. SQ1 begins, and man, oh man. I mean, it was a decent session since right at the end, everyone went super quick, and it was fun seeing everyone go up like 5 spots on a shit lap, but man, Ferrari continued to break my heart that I'm sure there is no heart anymore. Like, I'll say it once, I'll say it again. This year is worse than 2020, and I wholeheartedly believe that. I just can't believe how bleak things have gotten. Aside from that though, Max and the McLarens look the fastest and the pettiest, while everyone else behind is in hell. It may as well be a battle royale since there is virtually no running order past third. Sauber could be in fourth, Hadjar could be in fourth, you could be in fourth, I could be in fourth. It's great, man. We're heading into SQ2, and this one is even tighter. Again, McLaren and Max are in the distance. Who cares? Yuki is low-key cooking here after Red Bull finally decided he should actually drive a Formula 1 car, and that battle for fourth in general does look mighty. But aside from that, really nothing except for Hadjar getting rage baited from his engineer, so here's SQ3 now. The McLarens look immediately fast from George this time in third, since Max is getting mad again. Max claims his car is bouncing, which of course kills momentum, and this is an issue that does not solve itself. So Max qualifies in bloody 6th behind guess who? Yuki in 5th. It was an interesting session since it really was just nostalgia baiting the early bit of the season. Oscar starts on pole firmly from an overperforming George in 2nd, and Lando's in 3rd after bottling his final lap. Is it April, man? Anyways, this is just sprint, folks, and quick reminder, the sprint race last year was nothing like the main race, so this is far from over. Let's see how Saturday and the sprint race can go now. Lap 1 begins and everybody gets off safe through turn 1 and settle into their positions. Max, however, decides to be different and push Lando Norris, which ultimately amounted to nothing because we are in Qatar, people. I mean, this place is just horrible, man. You literally can't overtake at all. We better hope there's crashes and safety cars tomorrow because there will be zero action otherwise if there isn't. So Max never overtook Lando, no one overtook anyone unless they went on the gravel, but even then, you still can't move. Get rid of this track. So yeah, sprint over and pastries on top from George and Lando. You know, if Qatar wants to spice things up, what they should do instead of having a tire rule is mandate 50 overtakes per driver, and if they don't, disqualify them. Am I cooking or what? Anyways, we got full qualifying now, and all we can hope for is that some teams change setup and get closer to each other. So Q1 begins, and yeah, no one is different. I mean, I'm sure there were changes, but none of them mattered since everyone looks identical to how they looked in the sprints, except for one, however. Yuki Tsunoda is out of Q1 after out-qualifying Max yesterday. Red Bull, you are not slick. All I gotta say is poor Isaac Hadjar, since unless Mekis does break the curse next year, it will be the same story all over again. Anyways, Q1 was boring, as you can probably tell, so let's move on since there is absolutely nothing left to discuss. Yep, nothing more. Q2 was also just as boring since again, nothing happened. I mean, I guess there was Ferrari looking shit again, but tell me something new with my team. And for Q3, at least something cool did happen. Firstly, you had Norris and Piastri neck and neck, which despite the standings is a bit of a rarity this season. But man, it was still relatively boring since Lando bottled his final run again, and except for other moments like Charles nearly crashing out and Sainz dumping out a used condom, it was just so boring, man. I hate this track, I really do. Like, don't get me wrong, it was good, but I'm mad because Oscar Piastri, who got on pole, now has a 99% chance to win the race, since again, this is a pole is everything circuit. So let's see if I'm negativity maxing or if I'm once again proven right with Sunday next up, race day. So with the tensions high, how the hell was lap 1? Well, lap 1 begins and there is no crash except for the one in the Norris stock market. This guy loses a place to Max at turn 1, and now as it stands, we will have a three-way fight in Abu Dhabi. Further behind, every car on the dirty side of the start got shafted pretty bad while everybody else starts to settle into their position and race. For like one lap though, Gasly and Hull crashed at turn 1 in the Wash Midfielder Championship, which has brought out a safety car. Everybody then decides to pit except for the McLarens. Like, I don't know if they're trying to replicate Lewis in Hungary 2021, but this could potentially be super bad for them, so let us just see what happens. So safety car is in and the McLarens immediately dart away like they need to, while Max and everybody else behind starts to manage and slowly eat at their time gap. So not a single overtake happens since the safety car, which leads to the McLarens finally pitting, who are critically ahead of the midfield train led by Alonso and could potentially still finish highly here. Do not count them out. So a couple laps later and everybody else pits for the hard tires, which means the McLarens on their final stop will have a massive tire advantage. So this is mighty interesting despite there being zero overtakes at all. But here's yet another plot twist. The McLarens pit early to have more laps to catch on their soft tires, which is totally realistic because 9 laps to catch up is pretty damning. What's that? They're on the hard tires? Well, at least Sainz is now pushing for a podium from Kimi and Norris, but McLaren, how have you bottled twice, man? How? And the bottles keep coming since on the penultimate lap, Kimi just lets Lando by. Alright, anyways, Max wins the bloody thing from Oscar and Sainz, who is somehow on the podium, and despite there being zero overtakes, what a race, man. Max is now second in the standings, 12 points behind from Lando in the lead. Let us see what happens. But now for the winners and losers, and as always, losers first, and we got Ferrari. I hate everything about my life. Like, guys, I read your comments. I see you want me to change sides, but it's not that simple. I can't just wake up one day and decide to leave Ferrari behind. I can try all I want, but every time I see that red car go by, I remember my history and what they mean to me. It really hurts so much seeing them do this bad and how self-inflicted it all is, but I just can't leave. If anything, it infuriates me because, again, it's all self-inflicted. We really have management blaming the drivers for performances despite them literally being the only redeeming factor of the season. If this team were real, John Elkann would be in prison. Many senior engineers would have been gone a long time ago, and Charles Leclerc would have been champion by now. But yeah, no, our drivers just talk a lot, don't they? If you have any hope for 2026, man, do I wish I had your optimism and bliss. At least Checo is back next year. Next is Lance Stroll, who did Lance Stroll things. I mean, rinse and repeat every Stroll segment from every winners and losers ever. Repeat after me, folks. Alonso's on the front lines trying to get points for the team, while Stroll is nowhere doing nothing. I will say this though, if you're gonna be slow as hell, at least crash, man. Like, F1 since 2022 has missed this. We don't have that wildcard driver who could just crash any minute and bring out a safety car to spice things up. With K-Mag gone last season, we're cooked, man. And even then, K-Mag wasn't the driver used to be in like 2017, 18, and 19, and 20. We need another Mazepin or Latifi in the sense that we need a driver to crash and bring out a safety car to see some action. So come on, Lance. Do it, man. Moving on though is Franco Colapinto, who I'll keep it short. Unlike last year, he wasn't idiot ramming people off. This year, he kept his nose clean and drove well. So why is he on the loser segment? I don't know. I mean, compared to Gasly, the guy looked horrendous, but again, Franco didn't crash once this weekend. He was just pitifully slow. So yeah, I got nothing more to say other than 2026 will be crucial for him, since with Alpine expected to do good, Franco must be on their level. Next up is Esteban Ocon, who is starting to worry me now. I don't know if this is a 2024 situation where he is being forgotten about like the middle child, but his performances don't make sense to me. Like, in the first half of the year, he was looking mighty fine and good, but since Spa, the guy has been nowhere. He went from underrated to overrated in the same season, and I don't know how to feel. Normally, I like Ocon, like, I think he's fine as the driver, but no agenda is just gonna make me accept his downturn in performance. And it's not even just by a bit. No, you have Ollie fighting for Q3s and points, while Ocon is forced to contend with Stroll and Colapinto. Like, what happened, man? I hope nothing bad, since 2026 cannot see Haas fighting alone with one driver, a 21-year-old at that. Next up is McLaren, obviously, because what the hell are you doing? I got nothing else to say other than how can a team be this shit and fighting fighting for a title. Lando will likely win the title regardless because 12 points is still very steep, but Max, please punt that motherfucker out and make sure McLaren does not get another championship trophy. Finally, I have Alex Albano, who is maybe suffering a bit of whatever Ocon is going through. I mean that in the sense of they're performing good, great even, dominating their teammate for most of the season, and then post-summer break, boom, they suck unwiped butt. Albon is maybe a bit more of a victim to this since last year was the same thing, which I find very interesting. I mean, I don't think he's one of those drivers that get worse as the season goes on, so why in the past 2 years? Who knows, but either way, his beginning of the season was so good, so I guess it kind of balances out. But for 2026, this problem better go away because something tells me 26 will be full of good surprises for Williams, so Albon better not disappoint. But now for the winners, and we of course have Max Verstappen, who was just clinical this week. This was vintage Verstappen since he pumped in the times and stayed consistent throughout the entire race. Sure, he wasn't good in like any other session, but for the race at least, it was peak Max, man. So I got nothing else to say other than Max is just that guy, and despite my dislike for him, he's just him, man. I really can't complain too much. Next is Mercedes, who performed way better than I thought. Firstly, it seems Kimi broke the titanium dioxide curse since Qatar has it banned, but yet, with the exception of the final lap, he did good anyways. Maybe it's all the reserves in his body from the past weekends, and while George did have a bad race, he was good for everything else, so I gotta give him credit. I don't know, maybe it's because I thought they would perform way worse than I thought, but I find them as winners this weekend at least. Next up is Fernando Alonso. Let's do this one more time, okay? Repeat after me. Alonso was on the front lines fighting for points while Stroll was nowhere doing nothing. Man, oh man, this team and how much I hate them. Fernando did good like always here, and I don't know, maybe it's the fact he's like 45 doing this good, but I've been really respecting his game for a long while recently. Just wish those rookie quote-unquote jokes would go away already. Moving on though is Isaac Hadjar, who was here less so on his performance this week, but more so on the obvious. Firstly, he performed fine here, like he didn't do too bad, but also wasn't super spectacular or something. He was just nice and solid again. However, I have marked him as a winner because he will likely be the second Red Bull driver for 2026. Appreciate his smile and personality right now, folks, because all of it will be gone for next year. Actually, will it really? Because like I alluded to, Laura Mekies is a new team principal. I mean, sure, Yuki was tied up and sacrificed to Max regardless, but most of the damage was already done under Horner. Maybe Mekies doesn't want to do that anymore and wants to change things up, starting with Isaac. I mean, he apologized to Yuki last week. Like, when has Horner ever apologized to Checo, Albon, or Gasly? And even more weirdly, Helmut Marko was also seen apologizing and acknowledging the existence of the second seat. So maybe it's not over for Isaac, but this is Red Bull we are talking about, so I guess we need to wait and see if I'm being hopeful or real about them. Please come back to Ferrari, Lauren, please. Finally, I have Carlos Sainz, who I'll just keep it very short. He was bloody fast all weekend, but was kind of nowhere at the same time. That was until the race, however, where Sainz, with a little luck from McLaren, was able to fight for P3 in the race. I mean, I don't know what to say since Sainz kept his head down, put in the laps, and got rewarded nicely from it. Only this could have been all season long. Now for the bonus category, and I have the Sandcastle Award for the driver who spent the most time on the gravel, and I'm pretty sure every lap he did this weekend had him at least brushing the gravel, which isn't what I would call optimal. Burn the Ferrari headquarters to the ground, man. I'm so serious. Like, how did it get this bad, man? How did it get this bad? But finally, we have how my and your predictions ended up. My sprint predictions were kinda half right. My qualifying predictions were not that bad aside from the obvious. My race predictions were flat out wrong, but look, man, I'm not complaining at all. I like this better. My roundup prediction was wrong, but kind of right. I don't know. Your predictions were surprisingly right, but I still hate all of you, so I don't really care. And finally, my bingo card is without a single update. So those were my winners and losers from the Qatar Grand Prix title battle in Abu Dhabi, something I thought I would never say. It's gonna be crazy, but also could be boring if 90% of 2021 is anything to go by, so let's hope for the best. Save this whole society, Max Verstappen. Anyways, I want to give a quick shout out to all members of the flock for the continued support, and make sure to join if you want cool benefits as well as just helping me out. Anyways, if you enjoyed today's video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe since it really helps me out. Make sure to let me know in the comments who your winners and losers are, and as always, have an amazing day.
Good weather for the duck.